were so fortunate to have received the boon of Dionysus prior to my own. He, the most noble and important of us all, the god of wine himself.
Look, Eurydice, I promise not to bother you with this each time, but you should know your husband's shattered by what happened with the two of you. He's genuinely sorry, and he loves you very deeply still, I'm sure of it.
What am I supposed to do with that, Your Royal Majesty?
I don't know yet. Though you know what? You shouldn't take my word for it. You should take his.
Don't think I'll be running into him anytime soon, from what I understand. But you're the Hades kid. You want to pull some strings on our behalf? Go right ahead, I guess. But I won't hold my breath. Even if I could. You read my mind, hon. I go through this stuff awful fast sometimes.
And I, in turn, shall go through your incredible cooking awful fast, given the opportunity.
Look, Zach, you should know by now that when it comes to feasting, it's yours truly here who puts on the best performance. But I do have Lady Aphrodite's help.
Wine does have a rather special way of making everybody look even more beautiful than ever, Dionysus dear. And from such beauty, why, long-lasting love is born. And also shorter-lasting love, much of the time.
Than.
I have arrived. You're back. I thought you made it out. No matter.
I have longed to hear the sound of your hiss, Lerny. Lovely chatting with you, Lerny dear.
Dearest, just in case it hasn't been made clear as crystal lately, let me tell you, when presented with the opportunity, don't ever reject me.
Lady Aphrodite, I'm sorry. Say, you're from Crete originally, aren't you, Asterius? I know this is a stretch, but I don't suppose you ever heard of a commander by the name of Skelemius? Captain of the Cretan Second Fleet, something like that?
The king of Crete commanded the greatest navy in the world. Even I knew that, having never seen the light of day, the ships, the sea. Skelemius, huh? I might have heard the name. So what?
What? Skelemius was a real person then? But Skelly said... Oh, you know what? It's nothing, Asterius. Shall we?
Yes, let's. Well done. I yield.
Got you, Asterius. Ha. Theseus, before you flap your ghostly gums at me again, I'd like to hear from good Asterius this time. He almost never gets a word in thanks to you.
The king speaks for the both of us, short one. Though if you wish to hear me say something to you, I will oblige.
And I too shall oblige. That is, oblige my trusty spear, which yearns to penetrate your soft and vulnerable, altogether pallid flesh. Now die! You have insulted me too many times, blackguard!
Are you close with Orpheus down there? You get the chance, you tell him I said hey. He's pretty decent with that lyre of his last time I checked.
The Guardian of Hell itself decides the time has come for a short break and snack.
Thank you, boy. Well, Guan Yu, take good care of Varatha for me.
What have you done with my ancient weapon, boy? I sense Varatha's form there in your feeble grip, but There's some garish power you've awakened in it, haven't you?
Oh, just took a splash of Titan blood at the right time was all. There's more to your ancient weapon than you gave it credit for, I guess. Though let's not keep it waiting, no?
No, let's not. Gygaros is the mightier weapon with none of the treacherous past. It needs no fanciful shape-shifting tricks to run you through. Behold.
Emptier than usual around here.
I must confess something to you, my friend. My mind still wanders to Eurydice quite often, and my memories of her, despite my best attempts to move along with my existence here. I would call it a fatal flaw, except I am already dead.
Don't torture yourself, mate. You've been through enough, as has she. You still care for one another, just don't have a way to get the point across. But I have an idea.
I too once had ideas, Zagreus. Ideas and inspirations. It was so very wonderful to have a muse.
I know.
Your father is not here and you are back. Then it can only mean one thing. Are you all right, my child?
Yes, I think so, Nyx. Returning here by father's hand does put a special sting into it, though. So, any invaluable tips on how to vanquish him? Some hidden weaknesses only you know about, something like that?
You know his weaknesses better than anyone. Better even than he. It pains me to know that the conflict between you could not be settled in some other way. But if this is how it has to be, destroy him for me. Next you fight up there. However long it takes. Would you do that?
I would. I will. What news, Spirit? Miss Dusa, I, wanted to apologize for when I pried about your past. I just wanted to get to know you better, but I was insensitive and I'm sorry.
Oh, Your Highness, Zagreus, come on. Don't even worry about it. I'd already forgotten. Really, no big deal. It's just the past me. It's as though it wasn't even me. This is me now. I'm glad I'm here.
And I'm glad too. Achilles, if a friend of yours were in need of assistance, but the only way you could assist them was to somehow change the terms of an ancient pact father probably forced on them, what would you do?
I would be very careful, above all. Do you understand, lad? I would not wish to make things any worse. How many pacts such as the one you're thinking of are buried back in the administrative chamber there? Even your father can't keep track. Although, perhaps Nyx can.
Nyx, you're right. She knows everything. Wouldn't hurt to ask her, I suppose.
Just watch yourself.
What's going on with Charon, by the way, if you can tell me, Than? He's never been particularly talkative, but he really seems to know the inner workings of this place.
I correspond with Charon all the time, but even I don't know the full extent of his responsibilities. He's an independent contractor of sorts, been here forever. Your father gives him plenty of space to work.
He must be compensated pretty well for having done this for so long, tending the influx of new souls and all of that.
I doubt he's in it for the compensation, Zagreus. There is no Underworld without Charon. I think he knows that, and your father knows it too.
I never thought of it like that. The Frostfair Blade. What a weapon. Uncle Poseidon, so different from father. Lord Uncle Zeus sure has been generous. Say Skelly, or should I say Skelemius? I happened to have a chat with somebody familiar with that name. Large, bull-headed fellow originally from Crete. You said you made it all up. What's going on?
Never said I made it up, pal. I just knew you weren't gonna believe me. I mean, look at me. I look like a captain of the Cretan Second Fleet to you?
I don't know. I've never met one. Do they all just stand around doing nothing?
Well, sounds like somebody's never had to lead like 50 or something sailors in a voyage across the sea in a Minoan galley with nothing but the stars to guide them. What do you think the captains do, pull the oars?
Wait, what about Hermes? He gave me the impression you might have been somebody else. Nobody in particular, not some great sea captain.
What is it with you gods talking behind the backs of all your friends, boyo?
Don't change the subject.
Don't change the subject!
Ah.